Ladies and gentlemen, NATO just rejected a no fly zone for Ukraine. And the president, Zelenskyy, is very upset. But I don't know why he's so upset, y'all. He's not even a member of NATO. So why would they enforce a no fly zone over a country that's not a member of NATO? So I guess he felt it should have been done anyway. Well, they didn't do it. So the Ukraine president criticized NATO late Friday night over its rejection of a no fly zone hours after an alliance announced it would not intervene by air or land for fear of creating a conflict with Russia that will spill into other parts of Europe. Leaders of the alliance met Friday in Brussels, after which NATO's secretary said its members had rejected any possibility of intervening against Russian forces. Ukraine officials had called for a no fly zone, but NATO leaders have resisted, worried about a larger war. So they're worried this is going to break out into World War III. That's what it is. And it will ultimately. It will. President Vladimir Putin of Russia, announcing the invasion last month, warned other countries against interfering. Yeah, that's why, they're approving all of these fighter jets to go to Ukraine. And I'm waiting to see the Russian reaction to that, because they said they would attack anybody trying to go in there. We have a responsibility as NATO allies to prevent this war from escalating beyond Ukraine, Mr. Stoltenberg said Friday. So we have made it clear that we are not going to move into Ukraine, neither on ground or in Ukrainian airspace. So NATO is saying we're staying out of it altogether. Creating a no fly zone over Ukraine would require deploying NATO fighter planes and possibly shooting down Russian planes, Mr. Stoltenberg said, that he warned would lead to a full fledged war in Europe involving many more countries and causing much more human suffering. Mr. Zelenskyy, speaking in a video shared on social media, criticized the decision, calling the summit weak and lost. He said the Russian troops were shelling civilian residential areas, churches, schools, and that decision not to create a no-fly zone have a green light to more bombardment. All of the people who will die from this day will die because of you, as well as, as well, he said. Well, you're not even a member of NATO, you know. Addressing NATO leaders because of your weakness, because of your disunity. Mr. Zelensky has used video speeches, many released late at night over social media, to try to rally Ukrainians as well as support from abroad. While he has celebrated major sanctions imposed by the United States and the EU on Russia's financial system and leaders, he's also repeatedly called on European leaders to provide additional military support. About 20 countries, many of them members of NATO and the EU, are funneling arms into Ukraine for its forces to use against Russia. NATO is also moving military equipment, as many as 22,000 more troops, into member states bordering Russia and Belarus to reassure them and enhance deterrence. So he's not getting his no fly zone at all. He's not getting it. And they're pretty much telling him, you're on your own. We're not coming in. We're not intervening. We're not going to run the risk of getting into a fight with Russia. NATO is on the sidelines looking in. They're not going to help them. And I was also reading, because they're more like a medium size country and not as powerful as some of the other countries on the West, they don't see Ukraine as worth it. That's pretty messed up. So right now, they're going to just sit and watch them just die, you know? And with rejection of the no-fly zone, Russia can go in there and bomb the hell out of those folks. And if you think they won't, you better think again. Putin already made up his mind about what he wants to do. I haven't heard this man flinch or even have any doubts about what he's doing. He's going full steam ahead. He doesn't care what all of these other nations think. And he already said anybody that tries to jump in, he's going to go after them too. And I don't think he's joking. You know, these folks have doubted Putin all this time, and look at where it got them. Oh, he ain't going in there. It's going to be averted. This happens all the time. And yeah, well, we're not in those times anymore. Your 400 years are up. We're not in those times anymore where everything goes back to normal. If you didn't get that from 2019, you're never going to get it. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this story. NATO will not create a no-fly zone over Ukraine. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.